going live.
Welcome to the Tibetan Buddhist Society Peaceful Land of Joy, and welcome to my home this week. My name is Pam and I'm a long-term student of Geshe, Acharya Thubten Loden, the precious founder and spiritual leader of this centre, our traditional Tibetan Buddhist temple, and the beautiful gardens and the centres in Perth, Sydney and Brisbane. As we begin today's session by establishing our motivation, let's recall the six, just 1 minute. One of the beauties of being at home is that I can have incense going. So I don't know what your senses are like, but I've just lit a beautiful incense stick called Gentle Forest. So maybe as I teach today, you also will be able to smell the perfume of this beautiful incense. So as we begin today's session by establishing our motivation, let's recall the 6 meditation preparatory practices from last week: cleaning the room, setting up the altar, taking a comfortable seat, and so forth. But let's particularly recall the 4th preparation practice, visualizing the field of merit. Over the weeks, we have explored the Shakyamuni Buddha visualization, making it more complex as we started to incorporate the field of merit. This week, I'd like to develop that visualization further and then use it as the basis for our motivation. So here we go, having our second friend, meditation, join us. Let's get ready to meditate. So as we invite our second friend meditation and positioning our bodies in the Virachana posture, I will lead you through it. And for the first meditation, I'll lead you through the actual posture itself so that those who weren't here in previous lessons or those who may have forgotten, will be a little bit of a help for you. So the Virachana posture, sitting on a soft cushion with legs crossed, or sitting on a chair with your feet flat on the floor and your legs uncrossed. Your hands comfortably resting in your lap, palms up, right hand on top of left, thumbs just touching. Your backbone is straight, supporting your body. Mouth, jaw and tongue relaxed in a natural position. Head tilted slightly forward. Half closed eyes, gazing down the bridge of your nose, or completely closed. Closing your eyes in this way gives your body and your mind the signal that you are going to be meditating. Shoulders level and your arms relaxed. And don't forget that sometimes a small half smile on your face can help relax your body and your mind. Now gently, at your own pace, observe your breathing in and out, counting your breaths in groups of 3 as you settle into the session and rest your body and your mind. Focusing on your breath, counting them in groups of 3. Breathing in, breathing out, 1. Breathing in, breathing out, 2, and so forth. Let go of all distractions and agitations, of thoughts and memories of the past, plans and imaginings of the future. Don't let them steal this time from you. Remember to use that small part of your mind to keep you on track, just watching you. breathing in and breathing out. Now let's bring in our first friend, the precious teachings of the Buddha, the Dharma, the Guru, Geshe, as we commence our field of merit visualizations with their precious words. By first bringing Shakyamuni Buddha to our minds, the main Buddha of our field of merit visualization. Taking your time, step by step. If you look at your screen, you will see that Venerable Manakam has put up a picture for you there to help you with your visualization. It may be helpful to make your visualization a size you are comfortable with, somewhere between tiny and life size, or perhaps just a little bit bigger. If you can't do all the details, no problem, of course. Just do your best and imagine as many details as you can without trying too hard. It is much better to have a less complete visualization and hold that well in your mind than to get frustrated or confused. So to begin, imagining space in front, probably about 2 meters away at the level of your forehead, not too high and not too low. From emptiness appears a precious throne. In the nature of light, a throne like a large box. The throne is supported by 8 mighty snow lines, 2 on each side, supporting the Dharma and protecting it. In aspect, it is a precious throne. In nature, it is Shakyamuni Buddha's wisdom truth body. On top of the throne, from emptiness, arises a light-natured lotus flower with petals of various colors, or white if you would like. The lotus symbolizes renunciation. On top of this, in the nature of light, arises a moon cushion, symbolizing bodhicitta. On top of the moon cushion arises a sun cushion, also in the nature of light, symbolizing the realization of wisdom. On top of these 3 cushions, from emptiness arises Shakyamuni Buddha, or if you prefer, your kind root guru, taking the aspect of Shakyamuni Buddha. He is facing towards you. Shakyamuni Buddha's body is golden in color, in the nature of light. His body, composed of light, is clear and translucent. Shakyamuni Buddha is a monk wearing the 3 Dharma robes, symbolizing his pure ethics, and he has the 32 major marks and the 80 minor signs of a perfectly enlightened being. Just use that part of your mind to check that your visualization is clear. The throne, the lotus, moon cushion, sun cushion, Shakyamuni Buddha. To continue, Shakyamuni Buddha has one face and two arms. His one face symbolizes that he perceives the one nature of all phenomena, the emptiness of their inherent existence. His right hand rests on his right knee in the earth-touching gesture, which symbolizes Shakyamuni Buddha's power to stop all negativities, especially the suffering of the three lower realms. His left hand rests in his lap in the gesture of concentration and holds a begging bowl of nectar, the nectar which destroys all delusions. At Shakyamuni Buddha's heart, imagine a blue syllable hum. It is surrounded by Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra, Om Muni Muni Maha Muniye Soha. Shakyamuni Buddha sits in the cross-legged position and emanates countless rays of light in all directions. He looks down so kindly upon us all. Now let's build up the field of merit, adding further Buddhas. First we'll invite the Buddha of wisdom, Manchushri, into our field of merit. He sits next to Shakyamuni Buddha, slightly lower on Shakyamuni Buddha's left, the wisdom side. There is a picture of Manchushri on your screen. Thank you, Venerable Manikam. Manchushri has all the signs and marks of a Buddha, and he is the abiding protector of all living beings. From Manchushri we receive the gentle wisdom we need to progress on the path. He is our gentle friend. If you have a guru, in the nature of Manchushri is your kind root Lama, taking the appearance of Manchushri. Manchushri does not give us the answers. He grants us the process to find our own wisdom. Take your time, add as many details as you can. It doesn't matter if you don't get all of them. Just know that he is the Buddha of wisdom, Manchushri. Now let's include Maitreya Buddha in our field of merit, the other Buddha from last week. He sits next to Shakyamuni Buddha, slightly lower and facing you, on Shakyamuni Buddha's right, the method side of loving kindness. There is a picture of Maitreya on your screen. Thanks, Venerable Manikam. But don't forget, Maitreya is not just a picture. He is an actual Buddha in the nature of light, appearing as a visualization in our mental consciousness. Using this mental consciousness, imagine in space before you, on Shakyamuni Buddha's right, at the level of your forehead, about 2 meters away. In front, there is a lion throne, and sitting on this throne, he sits in the position like a chair, is the gentle or loving position, which shows that when Shakyamuni Buddha's era has finished, Maitreya will quickly come down to this earth. His feet are already on the ground, ready to stand up and join us. He faces directly towards us, golden in colour and radiant as if with the light of 10 million suns. He wears precious silk clothes, a beautiful crown and ornaments, necklace, bracelets, silk scarves, and so on. With one face and 2 arms, his hands are in the Dharma Chakra Mudra at his heart, the teaching, the wheel of Dharma Mudra. Each hand holds the branch of a naga tree in flower. On the flower of the branch on the right side is a Dharma Chakra. On the flower on the left side is a precious vase filled with the nectar of immortality. At his crown is a small stupa, which is in the nature of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. When Maitreya Buddha comes to earth, he will demonstrate the path of virtue, turning the wheel of Dharma for us all. In particular, Maitreya Buddha will spread the teachings on loving kindness, and as a result, the fortune of humans in this world will begin to improve. Maitreya, of course, has all the signs and marks of a Buddha. Now in our field of merit, let's bring in another Buddha, Medicine Buddha, so necessary for us all in today's world. In Victoria, going through another lockdown, and for all people throughout this COVID world. We can place Medicine Buddha in front of Shakyamuni Buddha, between Maitreya and Manjushri, so that we are starting to form a semicircle of Buddhas around Shakyamuni Buddha, all facing us with great love and compassion. And we'll add another Buddha next week in our meditations. Let me lead you through a visualization of Medicine Buddha. At about the level of your forehead, of course you're going to adjust this because we've got several Buddhas here with us today. At about the level of your forehead, perhaps 2 meters away, on a lion throne, lotus and moon and sun, Medicine Buddha sits facing you in front of Shakyamuni Buddha. He is slightly smaller than Shakyamuni Buddha. And there is a picture of Medicine Buddha on your screen. Thank you, Venerable Manikam. But don't forget, Medicine Buddha is not just a picture, he is an actual Buddha in the nature of light, appearing as a visualization in our mental consciousness. Medicine Buddha's body is dark blue in colour, the healing colour of lapis lazuli, and he has one face and two arms. His right hand is in the Mudra of Supreme Giving, and it holds a medicine plant at his right knee. His left hand is in the Mudra of Concentration, and it holds a lapis-coloured bowl of nectar, the nectar which destroys all delusions and especially all disease. He is a monk wearing the 3 Dharma robes and has all the major signs and minor marks of a Buddha. He is everything beautiful, gathered into one. Medicine Buddha is especially endowed with great love, compassion, and equanimity towards all beings. He looks down upon us and all sentient beings with such great love as a parent would for their only child. Even if your visualization is not great, picturing a blob of blue light is more than sufficient. What's really important is to have a real sense that Medicine Buddha is actually here with you, that if you opened your eyes, he would be here. Try to cultivate that feeling that you are in the presence of this truly amazing being. Now bring your attention back to yourself. See that on your right-hand side, sitting with you, looking at the Buddhas, are all your male relatives, past, present, and future. All your fathers, brothers, sons, grandfathers, uncles, and so forth. See that on your left-hand side, sitting with you, looking at the Buddhas, all your female relatives, past, present, and future. All your mothers, sisters, daughters, grandmothers, aunties, and so forth. And behind you are all your friends and all the people who have helped you along your path in this life, and all the people you have helped and who subsequently want to help you. They too are beholding the Buddhas. And in front of you, all the people you don't know, and all the people you have had any difficulty with, or they with you. They are in front of you so that they can receive your blessings straight from your heart, and so that any rifts that may remain are healed. All these people too are beholding the Buddhas. In your mind, take a look around. Make sure that you have included all the people in your life, and especially those that need healing. Family, friends, people in your neighborhood, your country, from around the world. Make sure that they are with you in front of this field of merit. Medicine Buddha is the healing Buddha. He cures all suffering, all dukkha, using the medicine of his teachings. He eradicates all pain, disease, and disability of all kinds, and fosters good health and well-being. From Medicine Buddha's heart, and from the hearts of all the Buddhas in our field of merit, Shakyamuni, Manchushri, Maitreya, from all their hearts, revitalizing, refreshing energy comes straight into you, into us all, male relatives, female relatives, all your friends and supporters, all the people you don't know, and those with whom you have a challenging relationship. And it particularly comes into those in your life who need healing. All this wonderful energy is coming straight to you and me, all of us, right now, nourishing, healing, inspiring, blessing, refreshing us all. The energy of blessing, energy of praise, energy of inspiration, energy of pure love to us all, particularly those who are troubled by war, by illness, by the forces of nature, and by all the strife on the planet. And as it touches your heart, that place in your heart where you feel love and joy, you really want to make offerings in return. So you offer these blessings back to all the Buddhas, feeling yourself surrounded by love, compassion of all these Buddhas. Love and compassion that is always there. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings have all the food and warmth and friendship and love and shelter. And may they be fearless. So from our hearts, may all beings join us this afternoon in taking refuge in all the Buddhas as we establish pristine bodhicitta motivation. As Geshe continuously told us, for the benefit of all sentient beings wishing to attain enlightenment, knowing that only Buddha's word can guide us to that enlightenment. Then when you are ready, gently finish the meditation and open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. Our dear friend, meditation certainly gets us on the run straight away, doesn't he or she? Just excuse me, please. Okay, now let's celebrate the field of merit and our motivation of bodhicitta as we turn to the general prayers on page 19. Thanks, Marnikin. We're going to today do them in English. These prayers acknowledge and praise the source of our inspiration and Dharma knowledge, the Guru, and through her or his teachings, the Buddha, the wisdom of the Dharma and the Sangha, formally ordained monks and nuns, and also all the lay people who accompany us on our journey as our good friends. So calm and focused, let us begin. On page 19, as we recite Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha in English, reflect how fortunate we are to have heard Buddha's teachings. Teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata, Arhat, perfectly pure and complete Buddha, all-knowing, having poise, Sugata, apprehender of the world, navigator of beings to be subdued, incomparable, teacher of gods and humans, to the Buddha, the Bhagavan, the glorious conqueror Shakyamuni, we prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Take refuge in these, and then concentrate our heartfelt wish for all sentient beings to be happy, safe, and well as we establish bodhicitta motivation to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. So refuge and bodhicitta pair on page 19. To the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. To the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. To the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. And then at the bottom of page 19, let's imagine offering everything beautiful as we recite the short mandala offering in English. This ground, anointed with perfume and strewn with flowers, Mount Meru, the four continents, adorned with sun and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offered thus. May all beings enjoy such pure lands. And then as we turn over to page 21, and we can recite together. Actually, it's not page 21. Oh, yes, it is. The top of page 21, as we recite together the magnificent seven-limbed prayer, and we'll do this one in English, of course. I prostrate my three doors with a mind of respect and offer or actually arranged and mentally emanated offerings. I reveal all the downfalls and negativities that I have ever collected and rejoice in the virtues of individuals and superiors. Please remain perfectly abiding until samsara is no longer seen. I request you to turn the vast and profound wheels of Dharma. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. And then, as we recite together the prayer of the lineage gurus in English on page 23, we pay homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, the first teacher of our path, and to all teachers right down through our lineage to the present time and our current gurus. Body born from 1,000,000 magnificent excellent virtues, speech fulfilling the hope of infinite beings, a mind that sees all objects of knowledge precisely. I bow my head to the chief among the Shakyas, supreme sons of the incomparable teacher, carrying the load of all the conqueror's deeds, by their emanations appearing in countless realms, I prostrate to Maitreya and Manjushri. The mother of conquerors is difficult to fathom. The precise thought is in the commentaries written by Jamdavicta's ornaments, Nagarjuna and Asanga. I prostrate at the feet of those most renowned in the three realms. From these two great chariots come the excellent lineages of the paths of profound view and vast deeds, their essential points gathered thoroughly and without fault. Prostrations to the lamp holding this treasury of instruction, giving explanation through compassion by seeing precisely and completely the essential points of all paths of Sutra and Tantra, holder of the conqueror's entire holy Dharma, prostrations to the glorious Losang Drakpa. I, seeing all the infinite teachings, supreme way of crossing for those entering the journey to liberation, moved by compassion to deeds skilled in method, prostration to the spiritual masters who make everything clear. And finally, the great treasure of excellence on page 27 in English. The prayer that sets out the entire path of our path to enlightenment, and we'll do it in English. Great treasure of excellence, the prayer of the path to enlightenment. The kind master is the basis of all qualities, and proper reliance is the root of the path. By seeing this excellence and through much striving, bestow blessings to be devoted with great respect. This gentle support of freedom, obtained this one time, is most difficult to achieve. Knowing its great value gives rise to a mind seizing its essence constantly, day and night. Bestow blessings to generate this continuum unceasingly. It is like a bubble in water, this constantly moving body and life. Thus remember the swift collapse of death. Beyond death, like body and shadow, white and black karmic results follow after. By gaining firm certainty in this, the mass of faults, subtle and very subtle, are abandoned, and the accomplishment of all virtuous collections completed. Bestow blessings to ever retain conscientiousness. The qualities of samsara are unfit to be trusted. The door to all suffering. Do not be content with these enjoyments. By knowing its defects, bestow blessings to develop a great aspiration for the bliss of liberation. By that pure thought, great conscientiousness is drawn forth, and mindfulness and awareness of the individual liberation, the root of the teachings. Bestow blessings to make this the essential practice. Just as I myself have fallen into samsara's ocean, all living beings as mother are also like that. By seeing the responsibility for the liberation of beings, bestow blessings to be trained in supreme bodhicitta. However, by merely generating the mind, if not acquainted with the three aspects of ethics, enlightenment will not be attained. By seeing this excellence, bestow blessings to train with strong effort in the vows of the conqueror's sons and daughters. Pacifying distraction toward perverse objects by way of proper analysis of the perfect meaning. Bestow blessings to swiftly and continuously generate the path related to the union of calm abiding and special insight, thus becoming a vessel trained in the common paths. Enter the Vajrayana, the supreme evolution of all vehicles. Bestow blessings to engage the easy path itself, that sacred way of crossing for fortunate beings. The basic practice for the two aspects of attainment is when guarding the pure vows of commitment is found to be genuine and certain. Bestow blessings to protect them even at risk of life. Then, by understanding properly the important points, which are the essence of the two stages of the Tantra classes, bestow blessings to practice according to these holy teachings with continuous effort in the supreme four-session yoga. Like that, may the spiritual friend revealing the gentle path and the friends of proper practice stand firm. Bestow blessings to quickly pacify the masses of outer and inner hindrances. In all rebirths, may I never be parted from the perfect gurus and the enjoyment of the glorious Dharma. By utterly completing all qualities, paths and grounds, may I quickly achieve the state of Vajradhara. Thank you. These prayers bring such homage and dedication and such wisdom for us. These preparatory practices are so beautiful, so meaningful. Sitting before our field of merit, making offerings, requesting and receiving blessings, establishing bodhicitta motivation for our practice, and reciting prayers of homage. My goodness, you need not actually do a session if you just do the preparatory practices from your heart. What a wonderful way to dedicate. So let's catch up a bit from last week for people who may have forgotten or weren't able to join us. Last week we did heaps of meditation to know our four friends better and to greet our newest friend in the meditation family, the friend of visualization. I think you might have noticed that our meditation friend has snuck in again this week already. But no apologies. It is such a marvellous way to get to know our field of merit and to establish our motivation through the session. It all becomes so clear with meditation. As we head off on our path this week with the first two of our trusty friends for companions, the teacher and our friends of the meditation family, we meet our third friend on the path, and this is our good friend of leisure and fortune. Having been around the Buddhist world for a few years now, these words, leisure and fortune, roll almost blithely off my tongue. Leisure and fortune, how nice. Leisure and fortune, yep, that's part of the path, and so on. But actually, I can hardly wait. This is such an astounding, wonderful friend. When I stop to remember just who our friend leisure and fortune are and what they are telling me, I get blown away by how fortunate I am. I'm hoping you are hearing my enthusiasm and that leisure and fortune are starting to excite you too. So, just to excite you a bit more, let's get to know our new friend. let's have a look at the marvellous teachings of leisure and fortune. And then after that, I'll invite our meditation friend to join us again so we can appreciate these teachings more deeply. Leisure and fortune, the awe and wonder of the leisure and fortune teachings. Awe and wonder, this is how I described leisure and fortune when I wrote the initial outline for this course a couple of months ago. At that time, I was thinking that when we consider the conditions of our lives here in this marvellous country, I certainly stand back in awe. To have access to Buddha's teachings given to us so generously by marvellous teachers, Geshe, His Holiness Rinpoche, and so on, such wonder. And yet, I was listening to Geshe's teachings, and he always makes me laugh with his pithy wisdom. Les said, you know, the Buddha was around 2,500 years ago. What have you been doing since that time? What have you been up to? We have such good fortune in this current rebirth. How can we ever justify or fully make the most of these good conditions that we have? Buddha's marvellous teachings don't admonish us and definitely are not intended to make us give up. They are here to help us realise with ever-widening eyes of awe and wonder, to be amazed by our good fortune. And yet, today in Melbourne, times have changed and we are abruptly reminded of impermanence. In some ways, we are back in that challenging lockdown world of 2020, the year we had deliberately expunged from our memories, the year of non-existence. Geshe says, everything disintegrates because its very existence is a result of causes, conditions, and the collecting together of various parts. Everything arises, abides for a while, and then disappears. Just the same as that breath you just took. In, out, gone. And the breath before that. In, out, gone. And the one you took while I was saying these words, gone. So, leisure and fortune, definitely do not forget impermanence. Let's take inspiration from this reminder and go forward. And also remember, definitely, when we put into perspective our Australian and our Victorian and Melbourne situations, my goodness, unlike other places around the world, the bottom line is that we are safe and we are well, and very grateful. To be in this country and safe and well is quite incredible. So what does this tell us? Despite the current challenges for human life in Victoria, Lord Buddha's teachings on leisure and fortune remain as permanent for us today, pertinent for us today, and as inspirational as they were when he first taught them 2,500 years ago. So let's use this current situation to strengthen our practice and make the most of our wonderful opportunities. So let's have a look at leisure and fortune in Geshe-la's wonderful Path to Enlightenment text that this course is based in. Geshe-la says, The leisure and fortune to be able to practice Dharma are what comprises an optimum human rebirth. Let me read that again. The leisure and fortune to be able to practice Dharma are what comprises an optimum human rebirth. What a statement. 2 words stand out in that brief sentence. First is human. Have I forgotten this marvel? Of all the sentient beings, gods, demigods, animals, humans, predators, hungry ghosts, and hell beings, in all the 6 realms, here I am, here we are, with the precious optimum human rebirth. How amazing is that? And then the second word, rebirth. I must not forget this word either. This current life is just another one in our continuum of limitless, uncountable, boundless, immeasurable lifetimes. Who knows what the next one will be, or the one after that? Who knows what the last one was, or the one before that? When we consider this rebirth here and now, what an opportunity. So I'm hoping you're starting to get a little bit excited. Maybe, perhaps not yet. Let me go on. In this lifetime, with the unique opportunity of these conditions and our rebirth, we have right now such a true and loyal friend, our friend of leisure and fortune, to inspire us to practice Dharma. Geshe invites us to get to know this friend as an indispensable companion for all 3 scopes of the path to enlightenment, the entire path. I sort of think that there are 2 levels in how we could consider leisure and fortune teachings. We could certainly investigate them at an esoteric level, expanding the depth of our understanding in that way. And this may well be a useful thing to do in the future. But as I'm thinking perhaps you too, but certainly as I am just getting to know this friend and wanting to invite it on my Buddhist journey, it may be sufficient to develop my preliminary impressions. First, there are the 8 freedoms that acknowledge our good fortune in being born free from other realms and rebirths, and born into situations where we are free from any restrictions to undertake Dharma practice. Then the other aspect is the 10 Endowments that describe the conditions of our rebirth of fortune. And then there are the endowments of our circumstances, our external conditions. Let's take a look further at both of these, the 8 freedoms and the 10 endowments. As I read them out, it might be helpful to not just think generally of other people, but imagine that you are living in these circumstances. And perhaps rather than concentrating on all of the circumstances, may I suggest that you focus on any of those that make you reflect further or, sort of stand out for you. So, the 8 freedoms. We have 8 freedoms. We are free of any factors that limit our opportunity or our ability to undertake the Buddhist path. We haven't taken an unfortunate rebirth in non-human states where it is impossible to study Dharma. We haven't had a rebirth in the hell realms of continual excruciating pain, in the hungry spirit realms of dire thirst and starvation. Just imagine being born in the animal realm of abuse by humans and hunted for food. Another animal always wanting to eat you. And we haven't taken unfortunate rebirth as long-life gods who have such good conditions that it never occurs to them to do anything worthwhile with their lives. All they do is spend their very long lives enjoying themselves, and then it's all over. And we haven't been restricted by the situation of our rebirth, the setting of our lives. We haven't been born in a remote or barbaric or irreligious land, or in a dark eon where a Buddha does not teach. We haven't been born with poor mental faculties or physical disabilities, or holding wrong views where we reject the Dharma teachings. What would it be like to be living in those circumstances? Our own circumstances just become so mundane to us, we forget that these other possibilities may exist. So they are the 8 things. They are the 8 freedoms. Let me tell you now about the 10 Endowments. So right now we have been born with the 5 personal fortunes as humans in a central land with complete sense organs. We haven't created the 5 extreme negative karmas, and we have faith. What a wonderful way to be born from the point of view of practicing Dharma. And we have the 5 fortunate factors coming from a society where there is a Buddha, and the Buddha gives Dharma teachings. People still achieve realizations through their practice. There are practitioners to inspire us, and there is love and support from those practitioners. I really like that. How cool is that, that there are practitioners around us who support us in our ups and our downs as we bumble away along this path. The other magical thing about our friend of leisure and fortune is its ongoing friendship and value. There is the temporary value in having this friend of leisure and fortune with a higher rebirth and good conditions. We are able to practice pure morality, the main cause of a higher rebirth in the future, that outcome we are so striving for in this life. So if we use this fortunate rebirth well, we can create the causes for happiness, not only in this life, but in future lives too. How marvelous that would be. There is the ultimate value, so we've got the temporary value, and there is also the ultimate value in this most fortunate rebirth. We are able to attain the ultimate goals of liberation and enlightenment. And thirdly, there is value in every instant. Each moment of this perfect human rebirth can be made to be meaningful and used for a great purpose. We can use mindfulness and vigilance to help us on our way. How rare it is to have such a good friend. So we have this incredibly rare opportunity. So, and where do we go to from here? I was looking through His Holiness the Dalai Lama's wonderful book, The Foundation of Buddhist Practice, rummaging around in the index actually, and I came across the word fortitude. What an interesting entry to have. So I turned to the first fortitude entry, and blow me down, here I was, straight in today's theme of leisure and fortune. His Holiness says that generally speaking, completing the path requires many lifetimes. Somehow we need to get another precious human life in the future to be able to resume our Dharma journey. Then we can continue on to achieving Buddhahood. But how can we get another precious human life in this lottery of rebirths? His Holiness says that basically we need to relinquish our attachment to cyclic existence. I think a bit more easily said than done. And more specifically, we need to cease our attachment to the pleasures of this current life, or the apparent pleasures of this current life. So let's have a look quickly at the 8 worldly dharmas or concerns. As we relinquish our attachment to cyclic existence, it comes down to realizing what a treasure our dear friend leisure and fortune actually is, and to have the fortitude to relinquish these 8 worldly dharmas. These worldly concerns trap us into grasping for immediate happiness now in this life. But when we do grasp this way, we lose sight of the longer term goals of ongoing happiness at bodhicitta, of achieving enlightenment for the benefit of ourselves and for all living beings. It is interesting that His Holiness and Geshe use slightly different wording for these non-friends. His Holiness calls them the 8 worldly concerns, and indeed we definitely get caught up in organising our lives around them. But I really like Geshe-la's wording. He calls them the 8 worldly dharmas. By calling them dharmas, it really makes me see that it is so easy to slip into paying homage and worshipping these worldly traps. Boy, is that scary. Here they are, these non-friends, the 8 worldly concerns, the 8 worldly dharmas. Let me read them to you. The first 2 are grasping for wealth. All of these are about grasping. So we're grasping for wealth in the first 2. Being pleased when receiving wealth. Being displeased when losing wealth. The next 2 are grasping for sensory pleasure. Being pleased when experiencing pleasure. Being displeased when experiencing misery. Grasping for fame and reputation. Being pleased at being famous. Being displeased at being in disrepute. Grasping for praise. Being pleased with being praised, and being displeased when denigrated. 4 pairs of delight and dejection, pairs that produce our attachment and our anger. On the other hand, when we practice purely, when we maintain equanimity, our minds become free of the anxiety and frustrations of this life. It is then that we can focus on Dharma practice with the pure motivation to proceed along the path. So thinking about learnings from today's class, what a helpful, loyal friend leisure and fortune is. How fortunate are we that this friend can accompany us on the entire journey of the path. I'd like to finish today with a final meditation. My friend meditation certainly sits very close to me. So let's finish today with a final meditation, reflecting on our most valuable friend of leisure and fortune, and as always, bringing to mind the preciousness of all living beings. So we'll set ourselves up with a Vairocana posture. So if you wish to meditate, please take your Vairocana posture. Your legs, hands, backbone, mouth, jaw and tongue. Check your head, your eyes, shoulders. Now gently, at your own pace, observing your breath in and out, counting your breaths in groups of 3, doing 3 of them as you prepare to meditate by settling your body and settling your mind. 3 groups of 3 breaths. As you do that, bring your focus to the center of your chest and wait there till you arrive. Listening to my words. Through meditation, let's take these 4 immeasurables into our more personal space, closer to us, meditating from our hearts. Then we can experience the heartfelt joy of connecting personally with every living being. Your loved ones, those you have never met and probably never will, and indeed yourself. The first is immeasurable love. As I read the first line, think of yourself, your family and loved ones, and all living beings. I wish that all living beings may have happiness and its causes. How wonderful that would be. May we all come to have this. May I help us to have this. In my immeasurable love, may I be the cause of all living beings to have happiness and its causes. The second is about immeasurable compassion, remembering yourself, your family and loved ones, and all living beings. May we never have suffering, nor its causes. How wonderful that would be. May we all be free of this suffering and its causes. In my immeasurable compassion, I shall help them to be free. The third is about immeasurable joy. Again, remembering yourself, your family and loved ones, and all living beings. May we constantly dwell in joy, transcending sorrow How wonderful that would be. May they never be separated from the joy without sorrow. I shall help them never to be separated. The fourth is about immeasurable equanimity. Again, thinking of yourself, your family and loved ones, and all living beings. May we all dwell in equal love for those close and those distant, free from desire and hatred. How wonderful it would be if all living beings could live without attachment to some, aversion or anger to others, and disregard of so many. May we all be able to live like this. May I be the cause for all living beings to live in equal love for all. And may I too live this way. Now, take your hand gently and lead yourself to that place of knowing in your heart. Store these intentions there. Let's take this meditation further. As we all know, this poor planet of ours is really challenged in so many ways. There is the COVID pandemic, ecological disasters everywhere, people suffering on massive scales, war, other living beings experiencing unimaginable conditions. So much suffering for humans, so much suffering for the other living beings. So let's develop our Four Immeasurables meditation to make it even more personal and applicable to our everyday world. This meditation is called the Seven Limitless. You'll recognize the first part of this meditation. As I lead you through them, again open your mind to the heartfelt joy of connecting personally with the world and every living being. Meditating this way is so different from thinking about all those living beings impersonally out there at a distance. The first limitless is limitless love. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May I help them to have this happiness. The second limitless is limitless compassion. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May I help them to be free. The third limitless is limitless joy. May all beings never be separated from the happiness of joy. May I help them to live in joy. The fourth limitless, limitless equanimity. May all beings always dwell in equanimity, unaffected by attraction to dear ones and aversion to others. May I too live that way. Keeping your meditation focus, bring your mind's eye into your everyday life and the suffering of this planet. Connecting personally, sincerely caring for yourself and supporting others. The fifth limitless is limitless health. May we all recover from the sicknesses of body and mind and enjoy good health now and forever. May my life contribute to limitless health of myself and others, particularly in these challenging times. The sixth limitless is limitless ecological regeneration. May we all relax in a pure and healthy outer and inner environment now and forever. How wonderful that would be. May I too contribute to this regeneration and help protect this world. And the seventh limitless is limitless peace. May we all enjoy inner and world peace now and forever. My goodness, may I too. How absolutely marvelous that would be. Quietly reflecting on our current situation here in Melbourne, in Victoria and around the world. Let's now continue the meditation into our conclusion and dedication. As we finish our session in a most beautiful way, recall to your mind the field of merit. There they are before you and all living beings. Shakyamuni Buddha, Manchushri, Maitreya, Medicine Buddha. Make dedications to them of our sincere efforts today for the benefit of all sentient beings, particularly all humans on this planet suffering from the pandemic. Now dissolve Manchushri, Maitreya and Medicine Buddha into Shakyamuni Buddha before us. In your imagination, bring Shakyamuni Buddha to sit just above the crown of your head. He is facing the same way you are. Shrink Lord Buddha down to a very small size, about the size of your thumbnail. Let him, all those Buddhas, come down through the crown of your head into your body, right down to your heart. Your field of merit is always with you. The love and compassion for us and all sentient beings is always with us all. so precious and so peaceful. Sit quietly with this knowing. Then when you are ready, open your eyes and finish the meditation. Thank you, everyone. I've really enjoyed this afternoon. I hope it's been a benefit for you. This week we haven't been able to be in Geshe's magnificent temple, but I thank you all for having me in your home. Today we have met our third friend of leisure and fortune, the incredible personal and worldly conditions that we have right here and now to practice Dharma. We have made offerings to the field of merit for the welfare of all living beings, particularly those suffering from COVID, and we have prayed for the recovery and welfare of us all. Next week, we meet our fourth wonderful friend, Death and Impermanence, the final friend to accompany us on our entire Buddhist journey. It will be interesting to see if that friend arrives in our homes or in the temple. Time will tell us, I guess. I'd like to say same place, same time, but impermanence, and who knows, it would be wonderful to be back in Geshe-la's holy temple. So, shall we say the final prayers? I'll just get my prayer book just a moment. Oops. The final prayer of the graduated path on page 31, and we'll do that in English. The final prayer of the graduated path, composed by the unequaled second Buddha, Jetsun Tsongkhapa. By the two collections vast as space, amassed with effort for a long time, may I become a chief of conquerors, a guide for all beings whose mind's eye is blinded by ignorance. Also, in all lives, while not yet come to that, may Manchushri favour me with his compassion. Finding the supreme path, complete with all stages of the teachings, may I please the conquerors by practicing well. By my precious understanding of the essential points of the path, with skillful means drawn along by strong compassion, and by dispelling the mental darkness of beings, may I uphold the conqueror's teaching for a long time. Where the supreme precious teaching has not spread, also where it has spread but become degenerate, with a mind deeply moved by great compassion, may I make clear this treasure of benefit and bliss. The stages of the path excellently established by the marvellous deeds of the conquerors and their sons give glory to the minds of those aspiring for liberation. May the conqueror's deeds be long preserved. May all humans and non-humans who remove the obstructions and establish conditions favourable to cultivating the excellent path never be parted for all of their lifetimes from the purest of paths which the Buddhas have praised. When someone makes effort to practice properly the 10 points of conduct of the Supreme Vehicle, may they always be assisted by the mighty protectors, and may oceans of good fortune spread out, reaching all. And then if we turn to page 34, we'll do the special dedication in English. Whatever white virtues we have just thus created, we dedicate as causes enabling us to uphold the holy Dharma of scripture and realization, and to fulfill without exception the prayers and deeds of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times. By the power of this merit in all our lives, may we never be parted from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana, and may we complete the journey on the paths of renunciation, bodhicitta, pure view, and 2 stages. And then the general dedication just below it in English. By this virtue may all beings complete the collections of wisdom and merit, and attain the 2 holy bodies arisen from wisdom and merit. May the precious superior mind of enlightenment be generated in those who have not yet generated it, and not decrease in those who have developed it, but increase continuously. Thank you all, and thank you, Venerable Manikam. Our next class is 4 p.m. Sunday, the 6th of June. Hopefully we'll be in the temple again, but please keep an eye out on your emails and Facebook. I'm sure there'll be updates during the week as the Victorian government makes decisions to keep us all safe. And we've got about a couple of minutes if we've got any questions. Mani, I'm not quite sure how to do the questions. Okay, it looks as though we have no questions. Oh, it looks as though we have no questions. Oh, you. Aha, someone just wrote on the screen for me. This is such fun. Written on the screen for me. I'm just waiting, people. Okay, it looks as though we have no questions this afternoon. If there are questions and I failed to do the right thing to hear them, I apologise sincerely. Oh dear. But may you all enjoy this evening, this week. May we all be healthy and well. May the number of COVID cases in Melbourne and Victoria and the world go down. May our health and well-being be restored, and hopefully I'll see you next Sunday if that works for you.